hope you're all doing well. Today I just wanted to talk about keeping grounded, and especially in these times of global and personal change. There's so much going on at the moment, and it's so easy to become embroiled in those changes, those activities. And during those times we can often become ungrounded, for want of a better expression. So I think it's so important to regularly, daily or several times throughout the day, just to ground ourselves again, connecting ourselves to the earth. The earth is here to help and support us in everything that we do. When you think of it, it provides us with somewhere to live, the land that we can live on. It also provides us with the food that we can grow, as well as that can be found in nature. It's there to help us. And another thing that it will do is it will help to bring our energies back into balance through connecting to it. And it might be as simple as just taking some time out from our busy lives and maybe the stresses and strains that are currently going on and we're experiencing, and just allowing ourselves to be present, to be more present, more intentionally present, and actually maybe even just closing our eyes and just taking a couple of deep breaths, visualizing our energies going down into the earth with each breath that we're taking. And as we do that, we start to bring our focus and our awareness back to this present moment, back to ourselves. We start to create a greater sense of peace and oneness. And in that, we start to de-stress ourselves. And as we de-stress ourselves, we become more balanced, we become more aligned to the truth of who we are. And the truth of who we are is love. We are all filled with that divine element, that divine oneness, and therefore we're connected to everything that exists, including Mother Earth. It's a gift there for us to use, so why not use it? Very recently I watched a video talking about earthing, and it was where people are connecting themselves to the ground, to the earth, through either walking barefoot outside, or even there's a special mat that they can sleep on that actually assists in connecting and almost like earthing out the same way that a lightning conductor works on buildings. It takes that lightning charge back down to earth in a safe way. And what these beds do, or these under blankets do, is they actually start to decharge your body. And there has been reports of a lot of improvements to people's individual health. But not just that, or should I say more than that. It's bringing everything back into balance, that balance that is so important in our lives. And it's through balance that we become more, should we say, peaceful, more understanding. We can look at something with a greater openness. And if we're more open with ourselves, in our opinions, in what other people are doing, then we're going to be less judgmental. And if we're being less judgmental, then we're being more in alignment with the truth of our being, that element of that divine love. So take some time to maybe go out and walk outside, wherever you can, just in your bare feet. Or if you struggle with that, to actually go and find a chair, sit in a chair outside, take your shoes and socks off, or your flip-flops off, and and then just put your feet onto the ground. More recently, every time I go to the beach now, I actually, rather than wearing my sandals onto the beach, I will walk barefoot there. And it's part of that process, and I'm intentionally connecting to Mother Earth and allowing myself to absorb all of that is on offer, by almost like demagnetizing myself. Everything in this physical existence is connected through energy in one form or another. So it's allowing ourselves not to become overcharged, because that's when we become to that higher boiling point where we can then explode in the most inappropriate way. So it allows us to, through grounding and keeping ourselves grounding, taking daily practices to maintain that groundedness, that we become more reasonable. We start to use our common sense more, rather than just reacting as a knee-jerk to what's going on. We become more mindful. Everything just seems to flow better. And I think with the changes that are taking place, particularly globally, it seems every week there's something new that's happening, or that's being reported that's happening. And those reports are often done in a very an extremely negative way, to keep us captivated into it. But through the grounding, we can actually help remove ourselves from going down that pathway. And then we can start looking at those situations with a renewed openness, with a renewed balance. And as we become more peaceful within ourselves, we start to have more peaceful thoughts towards everything that is taking place, not only externally to us, but also within ourselves. We become more accepting of who we are in any given moment, in the knowledge that we're not going to be perfect beings. We're not here to be perfect beings. We're here to experience life, but also the key point, this is why we're here, is to bring forth our spirit energy, that divine energy, into this physical world, into our physical existence. And in doing that, we start to become and take on board this more expanded spirituality. And as that takes place, it's going to be even more important that we stay grounded. Everyone's been, or so many people have been talking about this new 5D expanded living, this new 5D world. And for me, it's not so much it's going to be a new world, it's more how we are within ourselves. And as we grow into that process, then we need to maintain that greater balance within us. And my suggestion for doing that is through grounding. So I just wanted this first little talk to be a short one, and really just to say to you to keep the faith. Know that you are divine beings. You are here to shine your light in your own individual way. So allow yourself to be more mindful, more present, and more understanding of everything that's taken place. But that understanding begins with ourselves first, because often we can be most critical of the things that we've done, the things that we're doing, the mistakes that we've made. So let's get into, and another time I will talk about forgiveness and moving forward from that. But using those little gifts that we have of understanding that it's okay to mess things up. It's how we deal with that moving forward. And first and foremost, we need to be kind and loving to ourselves, and then to start changing our own inner energy. And one of the best ways of doing that is to ground ourselves, because it brings us back to now, it brings us back to the moment, it creates that greater sense of inner peace. And I think that that's a wonderful place to be. And if you're unable to get outside to do the grounding, as I've already spoken about, try just doing it in your house. Just visualizing, just closing your eyes, and then visualizing with each breath that energy is going down through your body, out through the soles of your feet, and down into Mother Earth. Visualization and the mind is an amazingly strong gift that we have. So why not use it? Your imagination is with you all the time. We just need to allow ourselves to harness it in more positive ways, to bring about the changes that we're looking for improvement within ourselves. Because as we become more balanced and at peace, we'll actually start noticing changes to our health. We start noticing the change not just to our physical health, but also to our mental health. And then they each start playing and connecting with each other, because everything is connected. That one will start improving the other, and the other will start improving the one. So the aim is for this complete unity within all of life, because all of life is equally important. And sometimes those things that are more negative that are taking place in this world are there to create the contrast and to show us the things that we don't like, we don't want to head towards. And so rather than focusing on how terrible something is, let's become grounded and start focusing on the brighter side of life. Those things in our lives that are creating joy within us, or can create joy within us if we allow it to do so. And we will, the more at peace and grounded we are. So take care, everybody. And remember, the time is now for you to take that action. Stay blessed, be at peace, and keep grounding. God bless. And remember that if you are in need of some healing, then you can always contact Julie Bifano and ask to be put on the healing list that gets sent out to a number of volunteers, and we will send some absent healing to people. But if you're in need of something more hands-on, then both myself and Caroline do offer healing sessions as well as doing readings. So I'm leaving some details in the description below. You can contact either of us if you are in need of that, and you'll also find Julie Bifano's contact details there as well. Okay, so it's all about now is about time of just taking care of yourselves, especially in the absence of CMF being an actual present position. But know that we're always here if you do need us. Take care, everybody.